All right, so get this. We're diving into your green flu research today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, sifting through all those L4D Wiki excerpts you sent.
Yeah.
All about the virus, the infected, the whole shebang.
Right.
And, hopefully we've got some answers for you.
It's fascinating stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it really is.
Yeah.
Like stepping into a horror movie, but someone meticulously documented it.
Oh, for sure.
Every terrifying detail,
Yeah, and the first thing that
Yeah.
grabs you is just how mysterious the green flu's origin is.
Right?
Like, we've got these whispers of
Yeah.
biochemical experiments gone wrong,
Yeah.
but nothing concrete,
That's what's so interesting, though. It's
Yeah.
like that lack of a clear origin.
Right.
It's not just lazy storytelling. It
Yeah.
throws you right into the chaos. Yeah.
Of a real pandemic.
Sure.
Imagine that, facing a threat,
Oh, totally.
when even the smartest people have no idea where it came from.
I know, right? Talk about unsettling.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that uncertainty, it never really goes away, does it?
No, not at all.
Like, take how it even spreads. It's
Yeah.
like 1 minute it's airborne, the next it's bodily fluids.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then it's like maybe even a touch could turn you.
exactly. And that
What is going on?
initial misinformation
Yeah.
about it being airborne,
Uh-huh.
imagine the panic.
Oh, I know.
No wonder the entire world just went haywire.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about the authorities.
Yeah.
We've got CETA stepping up initially,
Right.
trying to be the heroes.
Yeah. With quarantines and evacuations.
Standard pandemic playbook.
Right. Exactly.
But the green flu.
It's just playing on a whole other level.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
And it's like those evacuation centers, they became these chilling reminders.
Like Daughtery Farm.
Yeah, Daughtery Farm.
Yeah.
That sometimes even the best of intentions,
Right.
can go horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong.
Grim stuff.
It is, yeah.
And then the military marches in
Of course.
with their stop the spread at all costs attitude.
Right.
You know.
Millhaven.
Yeah.
That massive processing center.
It's like their last stand.
It was.
Desperate attempt to regain some semblance of control.
Totally.
Speaking of desperate,
Yeah.
the carriers,
Oh, right.
immune to turning, but potentially spreading the virus.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. Socially, ethically.
Imagine the paranoia.
Oh, I know.
The fear.
You could be carrying this thing.
Right. And not even know it.
Without even knowing it.
And suddenly everyone's a threat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone is a potential threat.
And the military, they couldn't tell who was truly immune, so they just started isolating anyone who they suspected.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope.
Yeah, in a crisis, it's easy to justify those extreme measures.
Oh,
But at what cost,
exactly.
And speaking of cost, let's look at the Allegheny National Forest.
Okay.
Like, it's supposed to be this refuge.
Yeah, untouched wilderness.
Right.
Right.
And the Wiki paints a very bleak picture.
It does.
Completely overrun, devoid of human life.
It's just a stark reminder of how quickly this green flu spread
It really is.
and how it just turned these safe havens into ghost towns.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Allegheny's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
We see this pattern repeating itself everywhere.
Yeah.
Fairfield, Savannah, New Orleans.
Wow.
Not even major cities were spared.
I see. So even these institutions, like Mercy Hospital places,
Yeah.
built for crisis,
Exactly.
they crumbled under the weight of this thing.
Yeah,
It's incredible. They tried, though.
they did. They did.
Containment, isolation rooms.
Desperate measures
Yeah.
for a desperate situation.
But ultimately a losing battle.
Yeah, just like the fall of Mercy.
Right.
These cities mirror this larger societal collapse.
Totally.
It's like these systems we rely on, the structures,
Yeah.
the things we take for granted,
Right.
gone.
Just evaporated.
So what happens when the world you know it vanishes?
Yeah.
Vanishes overnight.
Yeah.
When hospitals become morgues.
Right.
And the refuge of nature turns into a breeding ground for something terrifying.
That's where the real story begins.
Right.
And that's what we're going to get into in this deep dive. You almost have to wonder, like, in the face of all this,
Right.
what keeps people going?
Yeah.
How do you even begin to rebuild
Yeah.
when just breathing the air feels dangerous?
That's the ultimate test of resilience, isn't it?
It really is.
And that's where those survivor stories
Oh,
that
yeah.
you dug up get really interesting.
They're fascinating.
Talk about facing your fears head on.
Right. But remember, even their immunity,
Yeah.
it raises all these questions.
Like, are they truly safe? Or
Yeah.
are they
Right.
ticking time bombs?
What are they?
Yeah.
Are they a danger to themselves? Are they a danger to others?
And as if that constant fear wasn't enough,
Right.
They've got those special infected to deal with.
Oh,
Each one.
the stuff of nightmares.
I like they were ripped right out of a nightmare, you know?
Yeah, take the boomer, for example.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean, it's a walking biohazard.
Right.
But think about what it represents. This
Yeah.
overwhelming force of the outbreak
Yeah.
exploding outwards with this
Right.
infectious rage.
Yeah. Okay, that's messed up.
It is. It is.
But I see what you
You know, and then you've got the hunter,
Oh, yeah.
all swished and silent, picking you off when you least expect it. Oh, gosh.
Primal fear, right.
Totally.
And in a world that's completely gone haywire,
Yeah.
those primal instincts are just amplified.
And we can't forget the smoker,
Oh, well, no.
dragging you into the darkness with its creepy tongue.
Right into the thick of it.
Talk about a fear of the unknown.
It's like it just embodies that fear
Right.
of being completely isolated,
Yeah.
cut off from your group, which is your only lifeline in this whole thing.
Right, right. And then there's the tank.
Oh, the tank.
I mean, don't even get me started on the tank.
It's like the virus just took all of its energy,
All the rage.
all the rage,
all the aggression.
and just crammed it into this
I know.
one monstrous package.
It's like the embodiment of brute force.
It really is.
So I have to ask,
Yeah.
where did these mutations even come from? It's a great question.
Like, is there any rhyme or reason to this?
Well, there are theories, right?
Okay.
Some people think it's tied to, like, existing conditions.
Okay.
Like maybe smokers are more susceptible to becoming smokers.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
It's like the virus just takes what's already there
Exactly.
and twists through it
Amplifies it.
into something horrible.
It's something monstrous. Yeah.
But, you know, even with all this horror,
Right.
there are these glimmers of dark humor
Oh, yeah.
in a lot of the survivor stories.
Absolutely.
Just like that old saying, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Right.
I imagine it's a coping mechanism, right?
It has to be.
To deal with the stress.
Yeah, to deal with the constant fear. Humor can be a really powerful tool,
I think so.
especially in those dark times.
Right.
It lets you find these moments of levity,
Yeah.
even when you're surrounded by, you know,
By complete darkness.
by complete darkness.
But let's not kid ourselves. Like,
right?
there are no easy laughs here.
No.
These survivors are making life or death decisions
Every single day.
constantly.
Oh,
Who to trust, where to go,
huge.
who to save, who to leave behind.
And those choices really reveal character.
They do.
You know, the Wiki mentions
Yeah.
this graffiti left by other survivors talking about
Oh.
how quickly the virus could turn
3
someone.
minutes, right.
Imagine seeing that,
I know.
knowing that that clock is always ticking.
5 minutes. And you could lose everything.
Yeah.
It's no wonder they cling to that dark humor.
Right. It's a defense mechanism. Yeah.
Against the sheer terror.
So it gets constant weight on your shoulders.
And it just underscores the fact
Yeah.
that in this world,
yeah.
every action, every choice
Right.
carries so much weight.
It's a heavy burden to bear, but
Yeah.
it also reveals, I think, the strength of the human spirit.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when staring down this unimaginable horror,
Yeah.
they find a way
To keep going.
to keep going.
They have to.
And I think that brings us to one of the most compelling things
Oh, for sure.
about the Left4 Dead universe.
What's that?
These ethical dilemmas
Yeah.
that are just baked into every corner of this world.
It's not just about outrunning zombies, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about holding on to your humanity
Right.
when everything is trying to rip it away.
Yeah.
It really is a balancing act.
Finding that line between, you know,
Right.
survival and compassion.
Yeah.
What are you willing to do to survive?
Yeah.
And are you losing your humanity along the way?
It's like the trolley problem, but with zombies.
Right, exactly. And nowhere is that more clear
Yeah.
than in Bill's story,
Oh, Bill, yeah.
the Vietnam vet.
You'd think
Right.
someone who'd already stared down death
Yeah.
would be like,
Numb to it.
yeah, numb to it.
But even he had his limits.
Yeah, and in the sacrifice,
Oh, man.
he's grappling with this impossible choice.
It really is.
Like it's his life or the lives of his friends.
It's brutal.
And he doesn't hesitate, does he?
Nope.
Holds off this horde of infected
A true hero
so his friends can escape.
to
Yeah.
the very end,
Yeah.
you know? And it's moments like that that elevates this whole thing
It does.
above your typical zombie stuff
Yeah.
because it makes you think.
It really does.
What would you sacrifice
Right.
for the people you care about?
Right. Would you be as selfless as Bill?
Would you even hesitate?
And it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
in a world gone mad,
Yeah.
do acts of heroism even matter?
It's a good question.
Or does the green flu just
Right.
reduce us all to our basest instincts?
That's the $1,000,000 question,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I don't think there's an easy answer.
No, and the Left4 Dead world doesn't give us any
No.
You see it all.
Yeah.
The military just doing what they gotta do.
Right.
People betraying each other out of desperation.
Yeah.
But then those flickers of hope.
Right, like humanity just peeking through.
Just peeking through the crack.
It's like this push and pull, you know?
Exactly. It's like the green flu pushes us to the edge.
Yeah.
But even in the darkest places,
Yeah.
there's still that light.
It's still good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what makes this so fascinating, you know?
It's true.
It's like holding up this mirror
Yeah.
to humanity,
To ourselves, yeah.
to our potential for both good and evil.
And so we've journeyed through this whole thing.
We really have.
From the mystery of its origins
Yeah.
to these horrifying mutations.
Right.
The collapse of society.
The desperation.
The desperation, yeah.
The struggle.
And yet,
Yeah.
the spirit of those who keep fighting.
It's incredible.
So what can we take away from all of this?
Well, I think it reminds us that
Yeah.
the world can change just like that,
Like that, yeah.
in the blink of an eye.
So maybe it's a call to action, right?
Maybe.
To look inward and ask ourselves,
Yeah.
what choices would we make?
When it really matters.
When the pressure's on,
Yeah.
would we step up like Bill?
Would we crumble?
Would we crumble? Yeah.
It's something to think about.
For sure, even if we never have to face something like that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
understanding the world of Left 4 Dead,
Yeah.
it's not just about zombies.
No.
It's about understanding ourselves.
Well said. And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll wrap up this deep dive into the green flu.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Absolutely.
Stay curious out there
Yeah.
and, maybe keep your wits about
You never
just in
know.
case.